What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to our mock draft V2. That's right, we're doing our second one. The season is over. Congratulations to the Rams. Matthew Stafford, you deserved it, my man. Take this into the sunset and become whatever. After years of toiling away on a horrible team, you're back to being the top, and we are doing the mock draft V2. Sorry about no videos for a while up until the Cartoon Network tier list. I lost internet for like days. I lost it Friday night, didn't get it back up till Monday, and I was at work, so it's like Monday afternoon, and I was like, ha 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 ha, hit me with a bus. It might have even been Thursday, but I've had like days of no internet, so I haven't been able to upload. But yes, we are jumping into the mock draft V2. I've done something slightly different with this one right here on my main screen. Obviously, we're doing the draft on our side screen here, but my main screen, I actually have all the teams written down in what I believe to be their biggest need. Now, again, whoever makes the draft network has put what they believe. I have some different opinions of some of them. Some of them are like very small differences, big differences, but this will help me draft better. You guys don't have to worry about it, but just so you know, that's if you see me looking here, it's because I'm like analyzing. Here, okay, what am I looking at? Where am I going? What players are available? So probably between each pick, I'll pause the video and I'll just jump between each pick as I pick them. I take a little bit of time, but before we hop on in, remember guys to like the video, do hit the subscribe button, and remember, comment down below what player do you hope your team picks. So let's jump on into this. All right, here we are at the Draft Network mock draft machine. And honestly, this first pick is big. Jacksonville has the #1 pick. And boy, it's hard. I'll be right back. I'll tell you who they pick. That is right. I believe that Jacksonville takes Ikem Ekwonu, #1 overall. I see him. I know everyone's talking Evan Neal. I think Ekwonu fits what they need at a pass blocking capacity better than Evan Neal does. And I believe truly that he can be the basis of an O-line that can help Jacksonville propel themselves maybe to be fighting for second in that division. I don't know if they can win it just instantly, but I think next year could be good. Ekwonu could show out, or he could prove he was not that good. He is a big risk. But that's what I'm going with. Ikem Ekwonu is the pick. #2, I do have the Detroit Lions taking Aiden Hutchinson. They need a big edge rusher. They don't really have anyone to give them that big edge rushing fuck! At #2, I do say that Detroit takes Aiden Hutchinson, the Michigan guy, staying in Michigan, Detroit, like an hour away from where he's usually going. I think he could be a big presence there. I have always thought for the longest time Kayvon Thibodeaux was going to be Detroit's guy, but with some issues coming out with his movements, his flexibility in his ankles, and just his ability to stay healthy, I think he might drop a bit lower than what normally happens. And honestly, I think that, Aiden Hutchinson's the perfect guy for them. He comes in, gives them a bunch of sack ability, gives them a bunch of explosiveness on that defense, and really I think that team needs that. And with #3, the Houston Texans take Kyle Hamilton. I feel like with what's left, I don't think Kayvon Thibodeaux, he could be on the radar, but man, with Kyle Hamilton still there and just all the upsides to him, I can't see a single reason they wouldn't jump at the chance to grab him. I think they would launch themselves. Amazing safety, someone to be back there and anchored deep in that defensive front. They also do need corner, but I think with Kyle Hamilton, in my opinion, based off everything I've heard, sounds like he could be the #1 player in this draft. The Texans can't go wrong with this pick. They take Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame. And at #4, the New York Jets select Evan Neal out of Alabama. Boy, this was a hard one. I spent about 5 minutes going through, not even 5 minutes, like 10 minutes going through multiple players. They could go Kayvon Thibodeaux. They could go Jermaine Johnson for an edge rusher. They could risk edge rusher first, go Charles Cross later. There's a bunch of situations. I think this pick could be the one that changes almost every other pick behind it, depending on who is grabbed. I just think at this point, you need that big tackle, and I think you can risk it on edge rusher depth. I think there's enough depth going a little bit later that with your next pick, you can definitely get one. I feel like offensive tackle you need to grab early, and with Evan Neal there, huge body, great on the outside, going to give you some good protection. I think you can't pass it up. And with the number 5 pick, the New York Giants select Charles Cross from Mississippi State. In the draft picker, it talks about them needing edge rusher. And I don't believe they do. I believe the players they have, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Azeez Ojulari, Lorenzo Carter's the one you can replace, but is it that big of a need to say no to getting an offensive lineman, especially with some other picks coming up a little later? I don't think you can. I think they take Charles Cross, someone who might not be the biggest body, but uses his body 100% at Mississippi State to throw himself around, make the blocks, amazing in pass blocking. If you are keeping Daniel Jones as a prove-it year, you need someone like this to give him some blocks, and I think it's perfect for him, so they take Charles Cross. And with the 6th overall pick, the Carolina Panthers select Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh. I know what you're going to say. A quarterback? Isn't there some bigger things? And I said, yes, offensive tackle. But I truly believe, if you look at what's left for offensive tackle, I've looked at Trevor Penning. He doesn't look that good. Nicholas Petit-Ferrer, Daniel Fale, none of them seem like anyone you take up at 6. And you look down interior defensive line, but I still think, deep in my heart, quarterback is the number one thing they need to look at. A lot of people are ignoring it and saying they can take it later. I don't think they can at this point, because with what has been taken, quarterback is like the top position of need that's left. And I think they take Kenny Pickett, a man with a great arm, not a cannon, really good accuracy, someone like a Drew Brees where you got the accuracy, might not have a cannon for an arm, not going to launch it infinite yards. Really good, accurate arm, great pocket presence, more of like a pocket passer, perfect for what the Panthers do on offense usually. I think Kenny Pickett goes here at number 6. And with the 7th pick, the New York Giants select Kayvon Thibodeaux out of Oregon. I know, I said earlier they don't need an edge rusher. But in this situation, edge rusher is probably the best option for them. Like, with what's left on the board, you look at wide receiver, and I don't think you could dive for Treylon Burks or Jameson Williams. You could dive for them, but at number 7, I don't believe they're good enough to jump that far. I also truly don't believe that they don't need most of these players. Linebacker's another big spot, but is Devin Lloyd good enough to go 7? I don't think he is, to be honest. So then you kind of just go best available, and Kayvon Thibodeaux. So they do get that edge rusher, put him on the opposite side of Azeez Ojulari, and just start battering teams. I think if Kayvon Thibodeaux can kind of get that ankle flexibility a little bit moved a bit better and keep himself healthy, I think he could be a force. And with the 8th pick in the draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State. And with the news that came out recently that the Falcons had released, the news coming out that they had released Dante Fowler Jr. after 2 seasons with a season left, that leaves them open to having really no big edge rushing ability. In comes Jermaine Johnson, who instantly could come in and just, if he could show off like I think he can. Looking at how people describe him, I think he could show off really well, come in, get 10, maybe 11 sacks on the season, help that defense have some big attacking outside. He'd probably play like an outside linebacker role. Think it's perfect. So they take him at number 8. With the 9th pick, the Denver Broncos select Ahmad Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati. Yes, I know. They already have their starter. Like, what do they need him for? They have Patrick Surtain. Look who's opposite Pat Surtain. Ronald Darby, who is not that good. I think getting Ahmad Sauce Gardner to be that good. Pat Surtain's a good lockdown guy. You have on the opposite side an amazing zone guy. I know what you're saying. That means they would not work together. I think Sauce and Surtain could both do each other's thing. Sauce is better at zone. Do a good couple man coverage. Maybe some zone for Surtain. I think that team would have again one of the most elite defenses. Maybe start making a new no-fly zone. I think with everything that's going on, I was gonna say quarterback, but with the ability to maybe grab some guys like Desmond Ridder, Sam Howell, Carson Strong in the second round, I don't think you could pass up Ahmad Sauce Gardner dropping to number 9. And they pick him up, and boy, they're going for a no-fly zone. At number 10, the New York Jets select David Ojabo out of Michigan. They get themselves an edge rusher, someone to come off the edge opposite of Quincy Williams, who, I know, not an amazing edge rusher, but I still think really good. They have C.J. Mosley up the middle. With Quinton Williams on that D-line, I think that kind of helps that defense start turning it up. Got your offense fixed. Add yourself a big piece on defense. I think Ojabo can do it. I do agree with something they say. Leave him as a pass rush specialist, probably for his first year. Based off how everyone's talking, he's not like the most perfect cover linebacker for his first year. But you give him a year, have him be a pass rush specialist, and he could show out here in 2-3 years. At number 11, the Washington Commanders select Treylon Burks from Arkansas. Boy, I think that's a perfect pick. I know what you're thinking, quarterback. And I think they're another team that waits till the second round, gets someone like Carson Strong or Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, someone here, whoever's left after the Broncos take, I think they go with their pick. And honestly, Treylon Burks fits perfectly to be the opposite to Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin, more of a small receiver, only 6 foot. And then you get the 6'3" Treylon Burks coming in. Bigger receiver, go up, catch those 50-50 balls, use his bigger body to get the defenders outside of him. I think that makes that team so much better. Gives them the ability to actually have some targets to throw to. And maybe with multiple targets, maybe they don't need a quarterback. I know, that was his rookie season. Why get rid of Heineke that quickly? Maybe give him one more year. Prove it year. Hey, we drafted you another great wide receiver. Someone to put on the opposite side for McLaurin. What can you do with it? I think that'd be perfect. And you could still draft one of the later quarterbacks just in case, or maybe you pick up someone in free agency. I think Fitzpatrick's out of there after the year. You still have Kyle Allen and Garrett Gilbert. I think maybe you go for another year with him. Maybe focus on some other spots. But definitely I think Treylon Burks would be perfect for number 11. At number 12, the Minnesota Vikings select Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU. I think he's a perfect guy to come into that system. Pair up, honestly, he might come in and win the number 1 job. He definitely could. Comes in, takes all the top receivers, and might be able to beat some of them. He could be really good. I think Sauce Gardner is more my number 1 corner in this draft, but hey, they'll take Stingley right here, give their defense a little bit more backbone back deep, make it stopping some quarterbacks. Jordan Davis is still there. Obviously, he's another one that's like, ooh, I would want him. But then at the same time, it's like, but do you need him? That's the thing. Jordan Davis, I think you better need corner. There's a bit more depth in your D-line. Dalvin Tomlinson, Sheldon Richardson, Amon Watts. You have some interior defensive line strengths, whereas corner, you have next year for sure Cameron Dantzler and Mackenzie Alexander. And that is all the good, even playable guys, in my opinion. Chris Boyd, Perry Nickerson, never even touched the field. Harrison Hand. You give yourself that third guy, Derek Stingley Jr., sure it up back there, running Cameron Dantzler second to him. Mackenzie Alexander hitting that third spot. Perfect. With the 13th pick, the Cleveland Browns select Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. This pick has been one of the hardest ones I've had to do. I've spent 10 minutes going through players, going through everything, and just ended up being Wilson, mostly because I think Todd McShay. I was looking Jordan Davis. I was looking, Jameson Williams, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, all four of those players, and I couldn't do it. I was going through their team stats. I was going through what do they do good, what players do they have, what positions do they need more, and I could not decide whether Jordan Davis or originally Chris Olave. But when I went back and looked, hearing what they said about Garrett Wilson filling in that offense, Todd McShay convinced me. And I think after hearing it, a nice slot receiver for Baker Mayfield, if he's still there to use, I think that could be perfect for Cleveland. With the 14th pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Jordan Davis out of Georgia. This was the easiest one. They don't really have any interior defensive linemen, and Jordan Davis dropped right to him, and they're going to scoop him up quick. With the 15th pick, the Eagles select George Karlaftis out of Purdue. With the 16th, they select Andrew Booth Jr. out of Clemson. I'm doing both of these at once as it's back-to-back Eagles picks. And to be honest, it's exactly what they need. I like George Karlaftis better than Trayvon Walker. I feel like he's a lot better right there on the defensive end, going on an edge rushing. Trayvon Walker does have more of he can do a bit of each, inside and interior, inside and outside running, run on the edge, go through the interior. I feel like they need someone pure outside like George Karlaftis. The players they already have, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox right there down the middle, Derek Barnett on one end. You put George Karlaftis on the other, amazing. Then you add depth to this defense that has Darius Slayton with Andrew Booth Jr., an amazing corner, someone who could make a big difference being opposite of him. That defense will get a lot better with these two picks. With the 17th pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select Trevor Penning from Northern Iowa, shoring up that offensive line, giving their quarterback some goddamn time because he needs it. The Chargers could be so good. They just don't give their quarterback enough time. They take Trevor Penning here, give him someone on the edge. He could come in and start almost instantly, and I think that'd be perfect right there. And with the Chargers, with the 18th pick, the New Orleans Saints select Malik Willis out of Liberty. I think he'd be perfect to go there. Run heavy offense with a bunch of RPO, quarterback runs. They do a lot of movement. Kind of like what they have with Taysom Hill. They can use what quarterbacks they have now, mix Malik Willis into that. I think he'd be perfect to go there. Developmental quarterback, new coach. You need a new system, a new quarterback, and I think Malik Willis is perfect for that. With the 19th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jameson Williams out of Alabama, a quick, really good receiver. Get open, get the ball to him, give him another option there in Philadelphia because let's be honest, Devontae Smith is and Jalen Reagor was a miss. Let's go with Jameson Williams, give him some more people, some ability to throw to, and I think he'd fit perfectly there. With the 20th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. Perfect. He likes a heavy volume of RPO. With Najee Harris in the background, you keep Juju Smith-Schuster. And, Chase Claypool. That team could be nutty. You just get yourself someone good for a tight end, and that team could start doing really good already. Maybe build a little more on defense, but I think Matt Corral fits perfectly on that team. With the 21st pick, the New England Patriots select Devin Lloyd out of Utah. Big linebacker. A lot of teams are high on him. And I think linebacker fits perfectly here. I do have on my list, I do have corner, and you could be going, but look, Trent McDuffie, Roger McCreary still there. But at the same time, I feel like with the prospect of Devin Lloyd being there, I feel like he could make a more early big impact on that defense, whereas they will just fit into a spot that's already like open, whereas he can make you realize that there was an opening you didn't even know on that defense, and I think that's perfect. So the Pats take Devin Lloyd. With the 22nd pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Keon Green from Texas A&M. Perfect. Give them that interior offensive lineman, someone that can play probably one of the guard positions. He could go out to tackle, but I feel like putting him in guard position is really good. Big-bodied interior lineman that could just be perfect for their O-line. Finally get Derek Carr some protection. With the 23rd pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Trent McDuffie out of Washington, and he's amazing out of Washington. A lot of people are really high on him. I feel like pairing him up with Byron Murphy Jr. is perfect, and I know I'm supposed to be doing what I think they should do, what I believe they're going to do. This is what I believe. We need a corner, someone opposite of Byron Murphy Jr., not Marco Wilson. Is this the motherfucker? Ooh, yes, Marco, who fucked us over in that Green Bay game. I think Trent McDuffie being opposite Byron Murphy Jr. just shores up that defense and, man, makes us look amazing. With the 24th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Trayvon Walker out of Georgia. Get them a really good edge rusher, help shore up that defense. It was the thought of going safety or tight end here, but I don't feel like there's anyone to jump up in this spot. And Trayvon Walker has been dropping in this draft. In fact, currently Tyler Linderbaum is dropping a lot. So we'll have to see what other teams think of him, but I think Trayvon Walker is the perfect pick for Dallas. With the 25th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select... Fuck me. With the 25th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Roger McCreary out of Auburn. Perfect for them to get that corner. Levi Wallace's and Tre'Davious White's getting older. Give them someone else back in that defense. Because honestly, they might have the safety ability. They might have everything else. I just think the need for corner is so much higher. With the 26th pick, the Tennessee Titans select Nakobe Dean out of Georgia. Get themselves that good, agile linebacker right there in the middle. Help them kind of try to stop the run if it happens. Stop the threat of tight ends like it is in running backs and passing game. Kind of help that defense a lot. With the 27th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Sam Howell out of North Carolina. Yes, a quarterback. Good in a spread offense, more pocket passer, throwing the ball everywhere. He is going to take some time to develop, which is going to hurt. But I think this could be the perfect team to go out there, get a veteran starter for 1 year. Let Sam Howell develop and give themselves hopefully someone of the future. With the 28th pick, the Green Bay Packers select Cameron Thomas out of San Diego State. Perfect for them to grab an edge rusher. I was tempted because I do have it written down that they need offensive tackle, interior D-line. Devontae White's still there. He does look like, someone big you could pick up, but I'm just like, man, Cameron Thomas does still look really pretty good. Someone to give him a little bit more edge rushing help. And honestly, I don't know if Devontae White or DeMarvin Leal or any of the offensive tackles would do enough to say not to. With the 29th pick, the Miami Dolphins select Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. A big, crafty receiver with amazing hands to put on the outside opposite of Jalen Waddle. Perfect for that team. Give them another good option if they are going to keep Tua, to have him, try to see if he can develop like the quarterback everyone thinks he could have been. It might still be. With the 30th overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select Drake London out of USC, giving them another offensive option on this already star-studded offense of theirs. He could go up, take some amazing passes, catch amazing passes, some more like contested passes where obviously there's speedy Tyreek Hill can't. He's more the speed receiver. Drake London is the nice receiver with the hands. See what they can do with that. Unsurprisingly, at 31, the Cincinnati Bengals are selecting Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa, who did drop in this board. It just seemed that there were other positions other teams would want over interior offensive line. So you know Linderbaum probably not as excited, but he is going to a team that almost won the Super Bowl. He goes there, helps shore up that offensive line. He could be a rookie offensive lineman. Has a ring on his finger, and after his first year, if he can do what a lot of people think he can, it'd be amazing. And with the 32nd pick in the first round, the Detroit Lions select Chris Olave out of Ohio State. Sorry, it switched the screen, so now we're in this screen, but man, I think that's perfect for him. A number one receiver featured, amazing route runner, develop his hands a bit, perfect on that team, giving their quarterback some options. I don't think they take a quarterback. Just go with what you got. I believe truly that even though he was not the guy you picked, he's not the one. Jared Goff, I think, can still be really good. Amon-Ra St. Brown will do amazing things, but then with Chris Olave there, it's a perfect fit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did have fun with this. You guys got to see what I thought about all these teams. A lot of interesting things, some interesting stories to talk about that would go through. Within the top 5, 3 offensive tackles grabbed, 4 quarterbacks grabbed, teams getting corners. Within 16 to 20, there were 2 quarterbacks grabbed. Malik Willis, Matt Corral. Obviously, my Cardinals getting cornerback, but one of the biggest ones is Tyler Linderbaum dropping to the Bengals, who obviously I don't have the ability to trade up. I would imagine they see him even get behind 20, they start calling up teams. Hey, Keon Green even, like they could trade up here, trying to get themselves maybe that offensive lineman. But thank you guys for watching. Remember to hit like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. Boo-ba, boo-ba, boo-ba.